In the course of life, most people will eventually face a moment like this. On one side, there is feeling. On the other, there is principle. You can see the logic in both, but you can only choose one. If you follow principle, you may wound the relationship and make things difficult between you from that point on. If you follow feeling, you may allow something that shouldn't be allowed and find it hard to face yourself afterward. In moments like these, it's very hard to stand on solid ground. In Chinese traditional culture, this kind of dilemma appears more often and is harder to resolve because in Chinese culture, feeling isn't only emotion, it's a kind of order, a form of obligation, a debt that cannot easily be cut. More than 2,000 years ago, something like this happened in the state of Zheng. Duke Zhuang of Zheng's mother, Lady Zhang, had secretly supported another son in launching a rebellion, working from the inside to help him seize power. The plot was discovered. The rebellion was crushed. By principle, he had to punish her. By feeling, he could not. Neither side would let him win. Lady Jiang was his mother. The debt of being raised by her was real, but in the ritual society of that era, a son who punished his own mother, even a guilty one, would be judged by everyone. This man is cold. He is unworthy of being called a son. If he followed principle entirely, the bond would be broken, and his reputation with it. If he followed feeling entirely, the rebellion would simply be forgotten, and anyone could treat him the same way in the future. In the end, he said only one thing: until we meet beneath the yellow springs, we will not meet again. These words carried anger. They also carried helplessness, not punishment, not forgiveness. He left the matter suspended, neither ended nor continued. But as time passed, the weight inside him never fully lifted. One day, an official named Yin Kaoshu came to see him. During the meal, Yin Kaoshu set aside some of the meat, saying he wanted to bring it home for his mother. Duke Zhuang watched this in silence for a long moment. There were things he realized that he had never truly let go of. He said, "You have a mother to care for." "I no longer do." Yin Kaoshu replied, "Where water runs underground, that place is the Yellow Springs. If a tunnel were dug there, a mother and son met inside, who could say the oath had been broken?" Duke Zhuang did exactly that. In an underground tunnel, he met his mother again. From the point of view of rules, this was a way around an oath. But from the point of view of the relationship, it was the only method that kept both sides from collapsing. The rebellion had been put down. That fact was not erased. The bond between mother and son had not been completely severed. It still had a chance to continue. Neither thing was fully resolved, but neither was fully destroyed. It wasn't a perfect ending, but it let things move forward. This way of handling things has deep roots in Chinese culture. When feeling and principle come into conflict, Chinese culture has never tended to let one completely overwhelm the other. Follow principle entirely. The relationship breaks, and much of what was built cannot be recovered. Follow feeling entirely. Right and wrong become blurred. and the tension underneath only grows deeper over time. What has settled out over thousands of years is a way of handling things that isn't entirely clear, but often proves more effective, leaving a space between feeling and principle. Not pursuing things to the end, not pretending nothing happened, not fully forgiving, not completely cutting ties. Giving both sides a way to step back, keeping the relationship open to continuing. Maturity isn't finding the right answer. It's keeping the relationship from being destroyed by the search for one. Today, that same dilemma still lives inside every Chinese family. A family member who once helped you has done something you feel is wrong. Many people end up choosing a way that isn't entirely clear, not fully pursuing it, not fully letting it go, not cutting ties completely, not pretending nothing happened. In that space, compromise, resignation, things that can't be put down, things that can't be released. But it is precisely this incompleteness that allows many relationships to keep existing. Feeling holds the bond. Principle holds the judgment. Sometimes, keeping both from breaking apart completely is the only way forward that still remains.